Alright, so want a little heart?
Yes.
A little heart? A heart for the thumbnail? Do 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 do.
Okay. Hello and Namaste Sabedana Harulai.
Welcome to Kura
Kasto Kura.
Alright, so this month it's going to be a little bit different because we obviously have two different hosts. I'm Anjelica.
And I'm Arnima. This podcast was started by the Nemaste Team to tell our stories and talk about universal and relatable experiences that we all share as Nepali youths living abroad.
And as always, these podcasts will be uploaded on the last Friday of every month and shared on our YouTube channel and Spotify. So we're really glad you're here.
Majidako Kura is
Angrezi and Nepali Kuraakaani.
also known as English and Nepali conversations. Okay, let's start this bad boy. Okay, so I think you should start first.
I should start first?
Yes.
Alright, so let's establish something.
Okay,
We're gonna try to speak in Nepali and English.
but that's really difficult.
Nepali and English Kuraakaani.
It's not even English, it's angrezi. You just sat in your own trap right there. Mind games.
Sometimes it's feels like you wanna say something, like you have your intent there,
Yes.
but what you're trying to communicate doesn't come out that way.
What do you mean?
Oh.
Wait, like I feel like I get it, but I don't get it. Like, okay, I guess sometimes when I'm trying to say muk majidako, like majidako and dweko is the same thing essentially, right? But if I say mero muk majidako, my parents will laugh at me.
Yeah, like it's because if you to translate what majidako and toirako, right? It
Yep.
goes to English. It just means washing.
Yes.
So if you're washing dishes versus you're washing your face, it's still the same thing. You're just washing different things. But then when you're toirako something versus majidako, it has a
It's
different
like-
connotation.
Yeah, but it's like the same thing. But it's just like it's like one difference.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I guess it's just odd to say that you're majidaiko your face because you wash dishes. Oh, maybe like it's because it's like dueko is like for animals, not objects. But like majidako is for like objects, you know? So like if I had this container and I'll go,
Majidako, like you're
so if
washing.
I'm washing this, you know? So I guess it's like that. But I feel like it's really difficult to do that if you're not a native speaker. Because
That's true. You know one thing I was gonna say? I'm gonna do a Priyanka Chopra like Nick Jonas move. Do. Okay, so basically what I was thinking about is
it's because I'm brown. You did that. No, but then it's because you're brown. You did that.
right. So, when I was thinking about this too, like when you were saying these words, mero dimag makikura ayo pane. When I think about doirako versus majirako, like doirako, I see like clothes. Like it's like doirako. Like it's you know
But
how
then why would
pictures
you
and
be
words.
why would you be washing your teeth like if you would be washing
No,
lugas?
but then doirako versus majirako. Majirako, I like have a picture of like majing,
Okay.
right? Doirako, like I see like water, wash, soap. I don't know how to explain it. So when you say
You know
when you
what?
say you can't say you made a face majirako.
Let's reach a conclusion and say mera mukma pani rakiratu. And I think that's fine.
That's
I'm
weird.
putting water on my face.
But then mirukma pani rahiratu, like how? Are you drowning
What
yourself?
if, no, I feel like that's not what you say. I feel like you would say ma mera muk safagaratu.
Yes.
So I don't think you would say doerako.
No.
Or even majirako. I feel like we kind of just played into our own mind games.
Yeah, but safagar rakupan, it has a lot of things, right? When you safagar, you're making it clean. So how do you make it clean? You wash your face.
Yes.
I think that's how Nepali sort of works.
Because you wouldn't say like I'm mera luga safagaratu. That's just weird. I mean, no,
You can say miruluga safa cha. I think safa is miruluga safa cha. It's like an adjective,
yes.
right? But yeah, I'm like my brain is frozen. It's just
So like we've reached a conclusion though that you would rather say safagarako.
mirumuk safa. No, mirumuk safa cha.
Yeah, but how would you say I'm washing my face?
Mom made him make wash too.
So-
He makes a little English
Okay.
in that Nepali.
Yes, I think that's valid.
That's kind of like our experiences to begin with for a long time as well. It's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard.
I feel like what we talked about before, it's really difficult. Like I feel like it's good that we try to use Nepali words like safagayako or majidako or like, you know, dhoirako. But like it's like the A for effort, but like it's not there, you know? But it's still good because you're trying to put that effort, but I feel like that's a barrier that's only crossed by like native speakers. Because I feel like in safagairako, dhoirako, majidako, I feel like there's a better word.
I think it would be a nice idea to ask our parents to be on the podcast today because they are very good Nepali speakers.
Yes.
And as if people don't know, like my Nepali is like 3rd grade Nepali.
By Nepali grade is probably worse than a kindergarten.
But you learned Nepali all by yourself.
That's
I
very
remember
true.
the alphabet. How was learning the alphabet for you?
It was really difficult. It was really weird because I still don't remember what the da is or the saw. No, the saws
There's
are
like
fine.
4 different saws.
No, there's 2 different saws.
No.
But there's 3 different
3
saws.
different saws.
Yes. There's like
saw, shaw, and then
yeah, but
sorry,
there's like
saw.
4 das and there's like 4 tas.
I feel like Nepali really puts a lot of emphasis on different kind of sounds. Like how can you make a sound make more soft or more what's the opposite of soft?
Hard.
Hard or coarse.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
know.
it's, like yeah, cause like if you said gora versus gora, no, like for real, how
Gora versus Gora.
no, for real, how would you like? Okay, I feel like you would fine in English. I feel like it would be fine because you would write Gora or like Ghora. But I feel like if somebody who wasn't Nepali like thought, oh, it doesn't matter if I say like gora or gora, then they'd like be different. Like it'd be like
It
really
would different
different,
because
right?
like Gora means someone like a person who is
Well, just
what?
gora just means white.
White. Okay. Well,
Okay.
that's true.
And then kora is horse. So if you were like, it's just
It's just different. Like you just have to be very particular about the sounds you use. And when I was thinking about that too, this is something that I think जब म नेपाली बोल्छु मेरो नेपालीमा मैले यो एक कुरा इग्नोर गर्छु के कहिलेकाहीँ केटीसँग बोल्ने भन्दा oh god केटीसँग
it's hey Bhagwan.
hey
Not
भगवान
oh god.
also if you remember the
Jegai
movie
Mata.
no, remember the movie that's true oh my god it's not oh my god it's oh my gods because there's so many different gods
Okay, we
In
don't have to
Nepali.
get into that religion right now.
alright that's true but what I was trying to say
We're going through an identity crisis because we don't know the difference between Gora and Kora. I mean, we do.
wait I lost my train of thought
Okay, wait.
Wait, I remember. No. It's like, you know how in French?
Yes.
You know,
Oh, it's like mai versus me.
Huh?
Huh? It's like corn versus butt.
Did I just hear but?
No, okay, just move on. What are we talking about?
What I'm trying to say is that in English, in Nepali, basically, when you end off a sentence, like ta versus chi, I think, like ule garta, gartan, I don't know, there's like a way that your verb ends in a way that explains if that subject itself is a masculine subject or a feminine
I gotta
subject.
tell you this, buddy.
Yes.
I did not graduate grade 1 Nepali. I did not graduate grade 2 Nepali. I did not graduate grade 3 Nepali. I don't know what you're talking about. But like, I feel like I know what you're talking about because like, you know how in Nepali the vowel there's like a
Yeah,
that's like which one do you use?
I don't know. I feel a lot of times when I'm the only way I learn Nepali at this point, I would say, is I read like the Hamra Patro or like Kantipur. I don't even know, but like those things, and the more words I see, the more the pattern I see in terms of how words are phrased together, and that's how I write. It's weird, but it's like intuition. Like when you're writing Nepali, tingma थाहा छ कि if a word looks bad or like it doesn't like look right, just like how when you're writing English and you're trying to understand if a spelling is right or not, like you have the intuition, like is there an extra e or is there not an extra e? That's how I feel with Nepali and stuff.
think I agree because when I was reading like Nepali books with like Papa, right? I feel like the more I read it, like the more frequent words came up, so I was able to read it fast. But like if there was like a new word, it would take me longer to decipher it, right? So I feel like it's just a lot of practice that goes when you're trying to know what a word is or how to write a word. Reach a conclusion.
Like जब तिमी कुरा सोचिरहेको हुन्छ तिमीले नेपालीमा सोध्छ कि इङ्ग्लिसमा सोध्छ?
Okay, यो अलिकति गाह्रो छ किनभने it depends म कोसँग छु. Okay, like for example in French, do you know why I screw up in French? I screw up in French
because you don't speak French?
No, I speak amazing French. My accent is there. But the only reason I feel like I'm not very good at French is because I think like in my brain I'm like, how, look at me, don't look at that piece of table.
There's a chocolate right here.
No, but I'm more important.
Mixed fruit candy.
You can't sponsor this. We're not getting sponsored by these companies. We're gonna get like YouTube's gonna take down our video. We're gonna blur that.
Okay.
Blur that. Okay. Okay. No, but like I feel like for me personally, I feel like it's bad. If you're a proficient in a language, you shouldn't be thinking about what to say. I feel like you should just be like, you should just go out there. You know, like for French, because sometimes I think about how would I say this in English, but that's like not what you're supposed to do if you're a proficient speaker. Like जब म नेपाली बोलिरहेको छु नि हैन म सोच्दिनँ. Okay, now it's bad because I'm speaking it, like thinking about how to say it in English.
Okay, no.
So it's like the pressure is there.
It's okay. Take a deep breath in.
Okay.
Calm. No, you didn't finish your breath. Again, in the audience too, if you guys feel a lot of pressure with our conversation, take a deep breath with us. Exactly. Let's go in.
Okay. First, no, I'm good.
How do you feel?
सुकुन म अहिले सुकुनमा छु.
सुकुनमा छौ?
म सुकुनमा छु.
तिम्रो मनमा भित्र अरू केही कुरा छैन?
छैन. म नेपाली सोचिरहेको छु, म नेपाली बोलिरहेको छु.
अति उत्तम कुरा गर्यौ तिमीले. नेपाली
धन्यवाद. म सोच्छु कि म नेपाली बोल्ने बेलामा म नेपालीमा सोच्नु पर्छ. किनभने मैले अङ्ग्रेजीमा सोच्यो भने त्यो सबै कुरा बर्बाद हुन्छ. I will give you an example. Exhibit A. हामी जब निमस्तेमा कुरा गरिरहेको छौँ नि हैन त्यो हाम्रो निमस्ते क्लबमा धेरैजना राम्रो नेपाली मान्छे छ अनि उनीहरूले धेरै like राम्रो नेपाली बोल्छ. तर that's when it hits. It goes. That's when the pressure.
Yeah, I hope that whoever's listening did not get a jump scare.
I'm sorry for that. I tend to be very aggressive when I speak. Anyways,
it's
very expressive. Exactly.
Very passionate conversation.
Okay. So the pressure gets to me. And then I'm like, okay, I have to phrase my question or answer this way. And then I can't speak in Nepali because then I utter and then like I stutter and like it's not very good. I stutter, I mutter.
You in the gutter.
And so I feel like that's why I'm not very good at speaking Nepali sometimes. Like, what do you think?
No. I feel I understand. तिमीले जे भनेको म बुझिरहेको छु. Just like, do you feel that when you're speaking Nepali, like it's difficult to speak because someone's like judging you in a way?
I feel like there's like, I don't feel like it's, maybe actually, because I feel like when you think that someone's judging you, that's when you feel there's more pressure to try to speak perfectly, right? And that kind of just like for example, if you're trying to play the flute, you can play the flute like perfectly when you're alone, right? But then when there's like a bunch of audience of people that you don't know, it adds that level or element of pressure, right? So like if I were to talk, like right now, it's a little scary, right? Because like, well, I feel like this kind of has to be perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect, right? But I feel like if I was having this conversation with my parents or with you or like with close friends, it would be more easier to like fluently speak in Nepali.
Off camera too, right?
Off camera.
Because you're not feeling watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that all of this is being live adds that other sort of pressure. But at the same time, I feel that I just want to have fun with you right now.
Yeah, that's true. Right? Like likewise. But I feel like it's just difficult sometimes. But I feel like as I'm getting more outside of my comfort zone, मलाई नेपाली बोल्न is more सजिलो.
More सजिलो.
And like म जब नेपाली बोल्छु नि,
Mhm.
नेपाली शब्द मेरो टाउको मेरो how do you say head? It's not टाउको.
Mind.
मनमा आउँछ.
मनमा.
Like no, that's this मन.
यो कुरा मेरो मनमा चलिरहेको छ.
Why? That's not how you translate it.
I think that's what you say.
Okay, मेरो मनमा चलिरहेछ. But okay,
Ants
I
with the
can't do
little
it. I
ants.
can't. Okay, we
Sorry.
need to take a quick breath again. मेरो मनमा यस्तो छ, जब नेपाली बोल्छु नि, the more I get out of my comfort zone, त्यति सजिलो हुन्छ मलाई नेपाली बोल्नलाई. अनि जब म understand गर्छु कि that there isn't this element of pressure and that it's okay to basically like clump Nepali and English words together, then I feel like that helps me learn more Nepali, if that makes sense. I get more comfortable with learning Nepali.
So I guess a follow-up question to that is that
It's an interview. Am I being interrogated?
I mean, you are talking very nicely, and but what I was trying to say is that how do you get out of that comfort zone, or like how do you make yourself feel comfortable? Is it always, does it depend on like because you can't control who you're speaking to, right?
Yeah, but
How do you like, what's your own take? Like, how are you learning it, or like what do you think?
I feel like the more मैले understand गर्छु कि मैले mistake like जब म नेपाली बोल्छु नि, but there's going to be mistakes because I'm not like, I wasn't raised in Nepal, right? And I still find it like very good that I can still speak my language, like despite the fact of not having, you know, top level grade 3 academic Nepali.
Let's go.
But like, a wise person once told me that you're going to make mistakes, but you have to learn from those mistakes.
Who's the wise person?
You. Number 1 inspiration, number 1 model. Right up here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear. That's really nice to hear.
What about you? Like, when you speak Nepali, do you have this like a sense that there's this added pressure on for you? Or that like there's a need to speak perfectly? Or like why you feel that? Or if you don't, then that's fine too, you know?
I think for me, मलाई आफूमा चाहिँ गर्व लाग्छ, like I'm proud that at least I'm still able to speak Nepali in a way. And so when I try to speak Nepali and Nepali bolchu, I just feel happy, right? Obviously, I wish that I'm able to speak Nepali like more fluently, but it's just difficult because I don't think I haven't really met a lot of people that are Nepali my age who also speak Nepali, right? Fluently. So with Namaste, I think it really helps, especially when like Nepali bolirako hunchu haina, and also like out of topic thing, but I also feel that when you aren't able to speak your mind, like you're not able to express yourself fully. Like because my Nepali vocabulary is so limited, sometimes like I think it limits how much I can think in Nepali, which is kind of difficult, right? So it really helps when जब म निमस्तेमा तिमीहरूसँग सबै नेपाली बोलिरहेको हुन्छु अनि नेपालीमा एउटा शब्द आएको छैन भने someone just like unmutes their mic and be like, oh, are you searching for this word? And then I add that into my vocabulary.
In your mind.
In my mind.
तिम्रो मनमा.
मन होइन जस्तो लाग्छ कि दिमाग. That's the word. Okay, दिमागमा राखेपछि अनि त्यही word next time use गर्ने बेलामा आफू एकदम like I feel so smart.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I actually know Nepali.
Yeah.
You know?
But I guess it's like it proves that you're only able to learn and fully understand a language when you have that community to learn it with, right?
Exactly.
Like, do you know?
Sorry,
go ahead. No,
I'm just saying community that's supportive and that's like respectful and it's not judgmental, right? Then that's how you're able to flourish and learn. If someone's always going to be complaining about like
Oh,
every
your
word you
Nepali
say.
sucks.
Exactly.
It's wrong. That's not how you pronounce Gora or Gora.
Then you're
You
not
suck.
gonna able to speak it properly. Also, perfectly. But also, like, who cares if you make mistakes, right? Like, you make these mistakes and you learn from them.
Yeah. Also, like, it's interesting because do you remember that time we went to Nepal when we were like 5 years ago, but like I couldn't speak Nepali. So like me being in Nepal, me being like around people who just spoke Nepali, because like people like in Nepal, they obviously can speak English, right? But sometimes like your grandparents, they can speak a little bit of English, but it's not to the same extent in terms of communication, right? So like I feel like when you're also within a community where you're kind of forced to speak like that language, it's easier to learn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can I add one more thing?
What's up?
Okay, you know how we were talking about the question about like this added pressure and how sometimes we feel like we need this to be able to speak Nepali perfectly? I feel like there's also this level of like having sanskar, like this idea that
Sanskar.
like sanskar as in
Discipline?
not discipline, but like sanskriti. I don't know if that's the right word, but like kind of discipline, because it's like if you're able to like if you're able to speak Nepali, then you have that sanskar, like that you have that like, you know what I'm talking about?
I understand. Like, what you're trying to sanskar, like the sanskar sikako China, like how your parents raised you, like it kind of reflects like your community and like your learning around and how that affects you as a person individually. Yeah, sanskar.
But I feel like sometimes that can be also very detrimental, because sometimes you're just unable to like, you just don't know how to speak Nepali, right? And when people are like, oh, the मान्छेको संस्कार छैन किनभने उनीहरू नेपाली बोल्न सक्दैन, like I mean they won't say that to your face, right? But like you can kind of assume that that's being said, or like, oh, Anjelica कति धेरै संस्कार छ किनभने Anjelica धेरै नेपाली बोल्न सक्छ.
Oh
right? Like I feel like there's that added pressure that, oh, if I need to have the sanskar, I need to please people, and I need to like, so that's why I need to speak Nepali.
that takes away from learning like a language or just like being part of like some like an identity that's special to you, right? It feels like you're forced to be in it, and also whenever you try, it's like it's never enough. And that's a really not a good space to be in, and we need to kind of get out of that, which is why if you're all interested, well, join us in our conversation. Namaste.
Also, I feel, wait, I lost my train of thought. I actually lost my train of thought.
No, but
so
I was
there's no
also
coming
going
back
to
from
say
it.
something about that sanskar thing, right? Like, first of all, it's important to understand that for a lot of like Nepalese youth, we're coming from Nepal at a very young age. It's already like difficult to integrate into a Canadian culture, learning a new culture, and you have like your own identity as well. And you don't have, it's difficult to share that part of the personal like identity with other people because people don't resonate that thing with you. You can resonate with your friends if they're like immigrants because they have a similar experience, but they're not like from Nepal. Like there's some things in Nepal, like maybe the food or maybe a way you go about doing something that is not personally shared. And when you can't express those things, that part of you just gets shut off. And then so why are we blaming that on sanskar? Like if you're in Nepal,
it's not like anything about sanskar or upbringing. I feel like it's just the community that you're raised in. Obviously, if you're filled in like a community where a lot of people are like, you got no sanskar, then you're like, bro, I don't want to have no sanskar. And then you're like, Nepali culture banned. But like if you're like in a community that's like, Nepali learning is good, like it's like good for you because you learn about your identity, you're like, Nepali identity, I want to check that out.
Yeah, the community kind of shapes how your perception on anything literally, right? It's really interesting. Yeah,
that was a very deep talk.
I think so too.
I don't even know where it stemmed from, but that was like very deep.
I think it stemmed from Doirata or Majidata, our face, and then it got to sanskar.
Exactly.
Which was kind of
deep,
right? Because yeah, it's something I feel like most of us have probably come across or experienced, with a feeling of comparison or feeling of just not doing enough when in reality like you are trying your best depending on your circumstance and your environment. It's just if you were in Nepal, like obviously you're going to be like an amazing Nepali speaker, but in terms of speaking English, it would be a lot difficult, right? Because like Nepali is spoken most in there. Oh, okay, Nepal does have a lot of different languages.
I also feel like also in terms of what you're saying, like it's really difficult to sometimes learn Nepali because there's like I feel like there's no advantage to it. Like for example, you know how like in IB or whatever, they actually provide learning courses on like Hindi or like Mandarin or like French and stuff,
okay.
right?
For people who don't know what IB is, I guess you can
And
explain.
IB is like an international baccalaureate program, and you have to take like a language course, and usually that's like languages like Mandarin, French, Spanish, Hindi, like etc. etc.
I guess languages that are more prominently spoken.
And you have like an advantage in, like for example, French in Canada is like you get an advantage for being bilingual. If you speak Mandarin, then that's like really good in terms of job force. But like I don't know what kind of advantage you're gonna have if you speak Nepali.
In the I guess the larger prospect, but at the same time, not a lot of people speak Nepali. I feel like it's like a pride to take part of a language that's important to you that your ancestors have spoken for a long time, and it's part of your story. And it's really interesting because no one can take that away from you.
I guess it's also like separating the fact that like your identity doesn't have to like okay, this is kind of a cliche, but like your identity doesn't have to merge with what society feels is important or is not important. Like just because Nepali isn't being spoken around by a lot of people doesn't like deem it any less like important than other like cultures, right? Because I feel like sometimes when people try to learn languages, they try to learn languages that are most useful, like most spoken, like German, etc., etc. But I just don't know why like somebody that isn't Nepali would try to learn Nepali, if that makes sense.
I think you raise a good point. There aren't, honestly, there aren't a lot of, I guess, Nepali speakers as there are other speakers in the world. And it makes sense. Like, Nepal is a small country and our population isn't as large either. But Nepali is a great language. I feel like it's very poetic, it's very beautiful. And if you want to visit Nepal and talk to people there, I think it's really great. Um, and also, I just feel happy to talk to Nepali in my personal experience, just because I can speak to my grandma and my my granddad, everybody.
So like it kind of shows that like when you are trying to learn Nepali or when you're trying to speak Nepali, it's mostly self-driven. It's not for like the benefit of I guess doing well in terms of like productivity or like you know that makes sense like usefulness. It's just basically who you are, and it's not like for you to use it as an advantage, if that makes sense. Like I don't know how to explain that, but just like
I get it.
There's no like ill like mindedness towards it. You speak Nepali because you want to speak Nepali, not because you think it's gonna help you in the future. But like it does help you.
It will help you.
Yeah, it'll help you like connect with people and like people who are Nepali. But just I feel
like people who are not Nepali also speak Nepali, right? It's important. It's like for example, when you're learning something that you want to do, like maybe like solving like a Rubik's cube or even painting or even drawing or singing, you're not thinking, oh, I'm gonna make the biggest impact in the world with my voice. You just do it because you want to, and it's something special. It's something that you do it because I don't know. I'm feeling very poetic, but like what your heart tells you to, right? This is who I am. This is what I want to do. This is one of the things I value, and thus I will continue doing. And I guess for me, that is like learning Nepali and Nepalima bolne try गर्ने कुरा हो. Yeah, I don't think there needs to be like an outcome. If you force an outcome
I feel
to
like
be
that's like performative action in my like opinion, and we often see like performative action happening a lot, you know.
Yeah, we don't want to force something, because if you force something, it's not going to be genuine, and if it's not genuine, you can't connect with the things that you want to connect with. It's just very forced. So just do it because you want to, and I think it'll just show.
Yeah. So it's like this like not it's just like this like reached conclusion of how from doeko to majidako, like the fact that Nepali words have different connotations that sometimes only native speakers are able to access, right? But that shouldn't be like something bad because you're still trying to make an effort. Because like learning Nepali, no matter how not wrong, but like no matter how much mistakes that you can like come across or make. Like for example, when I say Bora instead of Bori sometimes.
Bora
Bora Bora is a place.
Bora Bora is a place.
Yes.
Bora is also like a bag.
Bora is a bag? But like
Bori is the
bean.
The beans.
Yes.
Yeah. Bora is a bag.
Yes, but like I sometimes say bora instead of bori. But sometimes I feel like I'm saying bori but not bora. But sometimes it's bora and not bori. Anyways,
It's hard.
Yeah. So I feel like you're going to make a lot of like mistakes when you try to speak Nepali or try to communicate with like individuals, right? But the fact that there's a community, and that the fact that it's really self-driven,
It helps a lot. No, I know what you're saying. It's a lot of train time, and I think we've been speaking for a long time, so it's okay to have these like small little. But I know what you're saying. Like when you have a community and you have someone that can rely on, you can bounce off ideas, and when you can bounce off ideas, you're able to learn, and then you just feel generally good about yourself. Like I feel really good right now talking to you,
because I feel like we're kind of understanding like more about ourselves in a way, you know, like the fact that, oh, if मेरो नेपाली राम्रो छैन, if my Nepali is not good as someone else, doesn't mean like I'm any less Nepali. It just means that I probably have to work not harder, but like as long as I still have this like self-driven like force inside of me that wants, and that wants me to like learn and connect to more Nepali individuals, then like maybe like one day I'll reach a point where like my Nepali is eventually very good, you know? But that can only start when people around you speak Nepali and encourage you to speak Nepali.
Yeah, you can only, like, I think my French teacher used to tell me this too, like you can only learn a language by speaking a language.
That's true.
Right? You can't just like learn by the books.
I mean, technically, like not like the copying down stuff.
Yeah, you can like learn the grammars, but until and unless you put it into words and actually speak it to mean what you want it to mean, you're not going to be able to learn a language. Yeah, that was a really good conversation, I would say, today that we had. How do you feel overall?
Well, okay, I feel like at the beginning I was feeling like a little scared because it just felt like doirako, majidako, sabagareko, right? But it's really interesting how when we dive more into these things and like the logistics and the linguistics. It's
the linguistic. I don't know how to say it in French. Je ne sais pas, but okay.
Yeah, linguistic. I don't know. But like it's interesting how when we go over like things like that may seem surface level, we're able to like dig deeper into like something that
okay. Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I feel that I feel like you did a really good job breaking the ice, making something more playful, because to dive into a very deep conversation, you need to like be comfortable enough to talk about it. So it was nice to talk about that, because I think it's a big issue. Like we still have this conversation with our mom too, right? About like the hueco and like wash and stuff like that. So obviously it's good. Yeah, I feel great. I feel like I learned a lot from you.
Yes. Today. I think I learned a lot from you too. And it wasn't just dimak. You altered my dimak. Thank you. I feel very honored. Okay. I think we have reached the end of our podcast.
It's already the end?
Yes.
Oh my god. You've been speaking that long?
I have been speaking so long that I'm not making, like, my coherency is being not coherent.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a really good conversation. Of course, like, we would love to know what you guys thought of this conversation as well. This is going to be posted, or it is posted, I guess, right now on YouTube and on Spotify. So if you have any questions regarding our conversation, or we would like to hear more, we would love to hear from you guys on our social media pages. So yeah, everything is basically linked on our Beacons page as well. This is a link that you will be able to see under link right here, or if you're listening on Spotify, it's going to be like in the caption itself, right? So yeah, thank you so much all for listening and being with us till the very end. Dhanyabad. And we will see you next time in our next podcast.
Can we do that like one TikTok out was like do 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 do? Like,
can you teach me?
I don't know, cause like it's like, and then we dab it up, and then we go like 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let's try it.
It doesn't fall on the ground. Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8.
हृदय नसरेरै बगिगएमा तिम्रो सोचाइ तिम्रो बोलाइ को तरङ्गमा बगाएर लग्यो मलाई मातैरी र आइदिए तिम्रो नजरमा बेरिँदै